Hello and welcome to Blockbuster or Bust. I want to go over the movies that you should be seeing in theaters right now. Whether you have Regal or AMC, these are the movies that are playing in theaters and are worth your time and money. So as far as new releases go, the newest releases are Never Let Go, The Substance, Transformers 1. Those are new movies that came out, and I have only seen The Substance, which I did a review on that earlier. The movie is absolutely crazy. Never Let Go, the reviews are mixed positive. The reviews for Substance are surprisingly very good, and same with Transformers 1. As far as other movies that are in theaters, there is Beetlejuice. I saw that as well. As far as sequels go, people seem to be on board with it. They think that it's creative and funny and really touches on the roots from the first film. And Michael Keaton, Jenna Ortega, Winona Ryder, everybody does a great job. The cast is phenomenal. We still have Deadpool and Wolverine in theaters. That is breaking records left and right. It is already past the Avengers, and it is next to past Barbie, so that's to be determined. There's also Reagan in theaters with Dennis Quaid. He has 2 movies out right now, and the other one being The Substance, but it seems like audiences like that movie more than critics do, but it's doing somewhat well for a low-budget film. We also have Alien Romulus still out. Fantastic movie. I think that this one is amazing. I've seen all of the Alien movies, and this one is definitely high on the list. So if you're a fan of that franchise, this movie is so suspenseful and just a very thrilling ride that really touches back on the roots from the first film, and it actually is set up in the same time zone, or about 20 years after the first Alien movie. So there are definitely callbacks to the first film, with a main character being in this movie who was also in the first Alien movie. So that one is fantastic. And other movies that are out, we have Speak No Evil with James McAvoy. He does phenomenal in this. Ever since Split, I have just loved him. I know he was also in the X-Men films, and also he's great in those, but this one, he is just psychotic and crazy, delusional, and every scene that he's in, you are just so captivated. And this movie, even though it is a remake of a foreign film that came out a couple years ago, people are still very impressed with the storytelling of this one, and it's by no means a letdown. This is a movie that you need to see in theaters, especially if you are a fan of horror movies. And this past weekend at the domestic box office, United States, the top movie was Beetlejuice, which has been #1 for 3 weeks in a row. So people are really rushing out to see that, especially since it's targeted for families and people who love the original. So this is one that people are flocking to go see in theaters, and one that I personally recommend. I thought it was an enjoyable movie. Transformers 1 is #2. People are considering this a disappointment because it was expected to top Beetlejuice at the domestic box office, but that's all right because Paramount is going to make a lot of money from merchandising, selling toys, Target, Walmart, you name it. That is where they're going to see a lot of their profit for this movie. But it's unfortunate because every movie that Chris Hemsworth has been in recently has been a bust. We had Furiosa this past year, and anything that he has on his own is just, not doing too well. Even Thor, Love and Thunder was not received well, even though the box office was decent for that, but it really fell off the deep end. Next we have Speak No Evil, which I recommended earlier. That film, it's not doing great numbers, but it's holding decently well, especially with Never Let Go just coming out and The Substance, which are targeting the same audience. So considering this is the second week that Speak No Evil has been out, it's doing pretty well at the box office, and I hope it continues to do well because, again, great movie. Never Let Go didn't really do that well. It was released in 2,667 theaters, and it grossed less than Speak No Evil, which is on its second weekend, so people aren't too impressed with this one. Deadpool and Wolverine has been out for 9 weeks, and it's continuing to do fantastic. So props to Deadpool and Wolverine. The marketing for this has been genius, and people are loving all of the cameos, especially the social media campaign that Ryan Reynolds has been doing in addition to Hugh Jackman. Next, we have The Substance in 6th place, which is also doing okay, especially for an indie type movie. It definitely could have done worse, but hopefully it'll have long legs and stick around for the weeks to come because it's a see it to believe it type movie. We have Am I Racist? It's a second week out for that movie, and it's doing decent. And this movie is very specific to conservatives and Republicans, so the fact that it's doing well in theaters is kind of a surprise. Next we have Jungkook I Am Still. I'm guessing this movie is not going to be around for a while, but it did make a good bit of money per theater, so that's impressive. And Alien Romulus, that was mentioned earlier, still holding up. And besides that, we have The Forge, which is a Christian movie, and it's having long legs. It's doing well at the box office. And It Ends With Us is in 12th place with over 1 million. The rest of the titles seem to be under 1 million and, not holding up that well. These are movies that you can probably watch on DVD or streaming. That's the rundown for the current movies in theaters. Next week, the movies that are coming out are Saturday Night, which is how Saturday Night Live started and the process behind it, and The Wild Robot, which is a newly anticipated animated movie, and we have Megalopolis, which is expected to bomb at the box office. So I'm curious to see how that one's received, because right now critics are not praising it too greatly. That's a rundown of the movies that you should be seeing in theaters and the movies that are performing best. Check these movies out. If any of the ones that I listed sounded interesting to you, then I highly encourage you to go check it out. Okay, bye.